where are any of those principles of the just war theory violated in this war? Where are any of them violated? It seems, one, there's grave and lasting damage. Two, there is been attempts to find peace and to negotiate. Those have been rejected. Three, there is a high prospect probability of victory. And four, the means, we hope, are not so evil that they don't justify the ends. So I'm open to hearing anybody tell me which of these are violated. I just I'm just posing the question.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not calling for war or necessarily saying that we want this, but at the same time, when I see 30,000 people dying that were willing to risk their lives because of something they believe so hard in, which was let's overthrow this evil regime and let's go back to our roots, which is not Islamic, but back to our real heritage. I mean, can you argue that this is necessarily a horrible war criminal, God forsaken, against God's will event?
Yeah.
I guess I don't totally see it that way.
Yeah, I'd add to that too, Father, that the fact that we've had past presidents in recent years tried to pay off the regime. I mean, the money that was given, billions of dollars given to Iran, that was another attempt to try to keep them, I guess, contained from getting nuclear weapons and such. And that whole debate, I know, will go on and on. But I think you pointed out some excellent things there regarding the way that people are being treated there right now and have been recently. Add to that that it was Pope Saint Pius V who initiated, going to Don Juan of Austria, the whole Battle of Lepanto. So this was a pope who is a saint who went to Don Juan of Austria and said, I need an army raised up to do battle
Yeah.
with the Muslims in that famous Battle of Lepanto.
Yeah. And
Father, yes, comment?
Doug, several hundred years before that, Pope Urban II, in his speech at Claremont, called for the Crusades.
Mm,
Right.
And,
right.
a lot of people will criticize the church ruthlessly for the Crusades and the Inquisition. Well, for my little small part, I've done my best to try to, again, bring truth. And the truth of the matter was, do you know that the Crusades weren't called to the vast majority of Christendom had already been lost at the
Mm,
hands of Islam?
yeah.
And the Pope was saying, if we don't do something, Christendom will disappear.
Mm,
Christianity will disappear. Pilgrims were being beheaded in Jerusalem trying to go to the Holy Land. So the whole Crusades started as a self defense mechanism against the attacks of trying to defend Christian pilgrims in the Holy Land. And it was because Islam had already conquered and taken so much of Christian lands. Look at the Middle East today, which is mostly all Muslim. That was all Christian.
mm,
That was all Christian.
yeah.
And so that's a misconception. Same with the Inquisition. Everybody writes me how evil the Catholic Church is and how many millions. I got to laugh, Father Richard, because you've pointed these things out before too, when people are, the truth is just so skewed. I had several people somewhere, this number 95 million got out there. I don't know how, but people are hanging on this fact that the church killed 95 million people during the Inquisition. You know what's funny about that? The entire population of Europe wasn't even 95 million at the time of the Inquisition. there
Yeah.
was there wasn't even 95 million people in Europe at that time. And so it's
Fake news, even back
impossible.
then.
Yeah, it's impossible that the church killed these types of people. So again, we got to go back to the truth. Otherwise, there's going to be division because
Yeah.
people hate what they think is the Catholic Church. Father, I know you're a big supporter of Bishop Sheen, Archbishop Fulton
Oh
Sheen.
yeah.
He had one of my favorite all-time quotes. He said, "Millions of people hate what they think is the Catholic
Mm,
Church,
yeah.
but very few, if any, hate what is actually the Catholic Church."
Right.
And what a fabulous statement. So, how do we bring this unity? Stop the ad hominem attacks. Two, get our own house in order within the Catholic ranks, where we have a lot of division, as you said, but get our own prelates and our own church hierarchy and our priests and our bishops on the same page of Catholic Church teaching. If that's the case, we can become united, and
Yes.
then we are a witness to the rest of the world.
Amen.
Catholic, 1.2 billion of us, if we actually stood united, could change the entire world and unite a lot of the world.